Well. How are we all doing, you beautiful people? Let me make sure you're getting the same beautiful summer sounds. Yes, you are. So, folks, welcome one and all to the K.O.E. Nation. Welcome one and all. Come on in, folks. So, tonight we're going to get into some analysis. The final word. The final word on a very interesting subject, one that's captivated all of our imaginations for quite some time now. And the saga is more or less complete. The Rittenhouse saga. So, folks really thought it was going to go either way. Me, even up to the last minute, I thought, oh God, is there going to be some charges coming in? And in the end, we got, hi, Roger. Welcome to the show. Welcome, beautiful. All you beautiful people. All of you beautiful people. Come on in. As you'll see, I'm wearing a new shirt this evening. Yes, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. Phil K.O.E., my mother was getting concerned. She's like, Phil, you're wearing that same overshirt quite a bit. I was like, well, I like that shirt. It's just kind of like my jacket when I go out. And so she gave me an early Christmas present. Well, how we doing there, Peapod Humperdinck? Welcome. Howdy. I gotta say, I really like that avatar pic. Cat with a samurai helmet. That's awesome. So, folks, how are we doing this evening? God bless every last one of you, and come on in. The water's fine. We've got a lot of stuff to get into this evening. I'm also going to get into some of my panel analysis from my time last night over at the Dog and Chicken Show. We've got a lot of interesting factoids and just some analysis to get into on that show. But I'm curious, you at home, what's your thoughts? Let us know in the comments about this particular trial. Did you think it went the way it should have? Because this is going to be the final word. Yes, this is the show of record, the show of all things that are good. But before we get into that, folks, just a real quick one I want to share with you, as a palate cleanser, an aperitif before we get into this, if you will. Just because the fall season is upon us, I figured, let's start off with a really quick, very short poem of the week about fall leaves fall. And while we all gather ourselves and gather our thoughts, and more, of course, copyright-free music. The artist is called Mew, M-Y-U-U. I always give copyright-free artist shout-outs. And I love this shot here. How we doing, all y'all? It's time for the poem of the week, and as you can plainly see, autumn is upon us. The fall leaves are falling, and I figured what would be more appropriate than Emily Bronte, Fall Leaves Fall, as our poem of the week. So here it goes, folks. Fall leaves fall, die flowers away, lengthen night and shorten day. Every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree. I shall smile when wreaths of snow blossom where the rose should grow. I shall sing when night's decay ushers in a drearier day. Fall Leaves Fall by Emily Bronte. Folks, the autumn is upon us. I hope all of you have a happy, healthy, and much the wiser season, and all of us get to say the same when the snow starts to fly. But until then, folks, this has been our poem of the week, and I'll catch you later. Just beautiful shot there. Look at that. Just gorgeous. No trespassing sign. Beautiful. Then, of course, there he is, the world's smallest farm dog, Churro. Don't eat grass. It's my deer hunting plot. You know, I think I might have made him a little angered. There's two reasons for that. I gotta give the beautiful people this.
Tell you what I'll do if I ever get back. I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow. It's hard to survive.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord Almighty. So, all right, I got a couple of questions here. Peapod Humperdinck, why haven't you been on the hippy dippy debates recently? I think the main reason is because I made Dylan Burns kind of mad because I was on one of the Royal Rumbles. I won the first ever hippy dippy Royal Rumble. First ever winner right here. But the next one, I realized, this one's just going to be a who's got the bigger following, and I can't win that. So I decided to just make the first 30 minutes of the next Rumble I was on basically the Phil show. And that's what got me kicked off. And he's also didn't like some of my opinions on Trump. Shocking. I mean, I know you might not believe me, but I was worried that Roger James Schmidt says, I was worried that public opinion was going to play into it more than facts, but I'm glad the facts won. You know, and you'll see what we got into last night at Big Buck and Empire on the Dog and Chicken show. We touched on that pretty heavily. And wait. Shaquille Oatmeal 5. Yes, the king has returned, and the king loves you, all of you at the K.O.E Nation, all of you beautiful people. You have love for your king. Your king has love for you. Don't worry, folks. Yes, God bless you, Shaquille Oatmeal. I don't know why I love that name. Gotta drink some peach juice, keep my singing voice in fetch. There we are. Back to full power. All right. Hey there, big fan. Wanted to hear your thoughts on the Rittenhouse case and railing my son of a bitch. Well done. Shaquille Oatmeal. Hear the wind beneath our wings. Yes, no wives are safe around Phil K.O.E. That's just well known. It's well known. Yes, Seesaw. Sorry, Peapod Humperdinck. But yes, that is true. Now, when it comes to the Rittenhouse trial, I said this on Big Buck and Empire last night, but I'll just give kind of a preview here. This does show that the system works. It really does. I mean, in the two big decisions this year, in my opinion, they went the right way. And I'm talking about the Rittenhouse and the Chauvin decisions. Could you imagine how much less faith you would have in the system right now if they had both gone the other way? Something to really think about there. And yeah, to me, this is one of those like, yeah, for all the system isn't perfect. Not saying that, but it did work in this instance. So, and it was like, I'm sorry, did you guys have this feeling of just like emotional relief after the decision? Like, okay, it's over, it's done. And like it was quite a moment, I do have to say. Um, but I also do think something that needs to be noted is the persuasion tactics that were used in this particular trial, not only by the defense and the prosecution, but also the media. They're like, this was a persuasion game at one point. That's what it all broke down to. It's one of the big things I like to cover on this podcast is just persuasion in general. And this one was really a study in contrast in persuasion techniques. Um, Kyle Rittenhouse's defense lawyer, let me make sure I get it, Mark Richards, he kind of, like, to the best that I could see, he did the I'm just uh just a Wisconsin, just Rust Belt folk like the rest of you, and boy howdy, this is just, I don't know about all this. This is there's some kerfufflery going on here, and so I think he did that well. I don't think his closing argument was as good as it could have been. Now, Monday morning quarterbacking. Now, Binger, Binger. I do have to say, like, Binger and Krause were study in contrast, because Krause was not very persuasive. He just wasn't. I'm sorry. There wasn't a lot that he like. There wasn't a lot that I saw that he brought that Binger didn't have, just over the top. Like, Binger was, his closing statement was a master class in persuasion. I'm not saying whether you agree with it or not. Like, that's irrelevant, because sometimes you got to remember, with persuasion, you're not always dealing with the truth. Okay. That's something you always have to realize, is people can utilize persuasion techniques against you for nefarious means. So you need to be able to understand them and be able to pick it out when it's coming at you. But yeah, I'm convinced that the deliberation of the jury went at least an extra day because of Binger's closing statement, and probably nothing else. I think that was powerful enough. Hang on, let me. Uh-oh. Woo! That was a sneeze of extreme. I do have to say, my word, that was goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Um that was good. That was good. Life's better. Life's better. Now, what happens from here? Eventually, like his defense attorney said, Kyle will eventually find some measure or level of anonymity in life. I don't suspect he's going to live in the Kenosha area for long. I could see him like moving to someplace like Arizona, just completely removed from the thing. And I wonder what his future is going to look like. That's fascinating, and just what's going to come out of this. Because like I've said this before, and this is, I'm sticking to this. The OJ trial gave us the Kardashians. So what's going to be the Kardashians of this trial? Okay. Like, there's no way we can possibly predict it, but there's going to be something like 5-10 years down the road. Like, oh, that was somebody connected to, oh, that's the daughter of somebody that was it, or that's the son of somebody that was connected to this Rittenhouse thing. Oh, wow. Okay. Then yeah, you're never going to know when it's going to hit, but it will eventually hit. And so it's something I'm waiting for, because for some reason, these big pivotal moments in our lives and in just media and in culture, for some reason, it always seems to permeate, stick around one way or another. It doesn't really, because like Joe Rogan has this great bit, which you do need to check out sometime. If you've never heard Joe Rogan's bit about if aliens were to land and they were going to try and say, what, Kim Kardashian, why is she famous? If you were to try to explain to them, like, yeah, you'd have to explain football, which means you'd have to explain OJ, which then you'd have to explain what divorce is, because OJ was allegedly trying to avoid a divorce. Allegedly, going to use the allegedly quite a bit. Gage Grosskirts this is according to Wahoo Sam. Gage Grosskirts seemed a little unhinged. I'm sure we have not seen the last of him. There is that, but I think this might be the final chapter for Kyle. But for the other players, oh, they had a taste of fame. They're not letting that go. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, Gage Grosskirt's going to come out with a book. I think everybody involved is going to have a book. Like, I don't think there's anybody involved with this that isn't going to have a book coming out about it. So, and that's that is capitalism, folks. But that's just one of those side effects that I'm curious. But yeah, the side players are definitely going to be trying to, I don't know what the right word would be. It's not spin this into something else, but try and find a way to transition into some other area of life where they can be lucrative at it. So this will be an interesting one. Now, this one did have just a little bit of everything. It had, constitutional precedents. It had the right of self-defense. There was just everything in this. Let's see. Peapod Humperdinck says Rittenhouse almost certainly does the Fox News circuit CPAC type events and probably becomes a mainstay for Second Amendment issues. I could definitely see that. I know that sounds strange, but now if I were in his shoes, I would be just trying to stay as far away from the public eye as possible for the next, I'd say, 18 months at the very least. That's better. So yeah, that would be my advice to him: is stay away from the public eye for at least 6 to 18 months. I don't see what benefit there would be, and then reemerge in another chapter of his life, because I don't see him like going to university. Do you see any college wanting to have that whole just PR shitstorm descend on them? I mean, like that's quite the. So we'll see what happens, because yeah, I mean, his life is inextricably, and it has changed forever. There's no way you can there's no way you could say that. I was like, all right, better change my sentence before I use that word in the wrong context. So but so folks, we're going to do just a little bit of analysis of a show I was on last night. If you do not know it, it is the Dog and Chicken Show, Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube, and you definitely need to check them out. They are some of the fucking finest content. They are the channel of record, Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube. Big Buckin' Empire, Buckin, no fucking G at the end. Big Buckin' Empire. And we're going to do a little bit of analysis here, because there's a few things that happen in this show that I want to get into. It contains graphic language, like something controversial. Oh, wait.
There we go. The Dog and Chicken Show.
There we are.
Oh, it's been a hell of a week, fellas. How about you?
Awful week.
Yes, it's been a bit of a doozy of a week, but again, we find ourselves here at the Dog and Chicken Show. But Chicken, we have this unfortunate reality. There's just really nothing to talk about tonight. It's just been a real slow news week, right? I mean, yes.
Super.
But yes,
super
Big
slow
Buckin'
news
Empire, help us grow our community. Send this to a friend, like the page, or send stars to help us continuing creating great content. And that great content is
content where I keep a tripod in the background.
Yes, brought to you by Phil, K.O.E, Chicken, Tony G. You get, oh my good Lord. The memeing has begun. But yes. 4 doors, all
4 doors, more horse.
I wonder how many TikTok followers he's gotten since that was revealed.
Oh God, I got
pretty sure they suspended that account.
I'm gonna check.
But yes, while you check that, folks, yes, welcome one and all to episode 114. We never thought we'd make it here, did we? Folks, I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil, K.O.E. You can find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and now TikTok itself. Yes, K.O.E Nation, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. But you got to do that right after you stop at Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube and Facebook, Big Buckin' Entertainment on Twitch, and also check us all out at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast this weekend for Survivor Series. The Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, on Spotify. Folks, the K.O.E content, the chicken content, the Tony G content, all that beautiful content for all you beautiful people can be found at all of these places. What are you doing? Like, share, subscribe, all of them. Every minute you don't, you're leaving intellectual money on the table. Intellectual capital, if you will, folks. That is what you're doing every minute, every second, every moment. You do not subscribe to every single one of these channels. Welcome, one and all. Dog and Chicken Show. Gentlemen, how the hell are we doing this evening?
Tony, I'm sorry. I put him full screen. I should have known better.
You only
That
encourage me.
just encourages him.
It's like, whoa, Phil's ready.
Yes, I did check, and yes, the Four Doors More Horrors TikTok account is completely erased from history, unfortunately. But you can also follow Leonard Skinner at Westland 4, myself, Tony G, at Tony the Rod 2.0, and of course, the Big Buckin' Empire, the Dog and Chicken Show Chicken, at Big Buckin', and of course, Phil, the King of Extreme, at K.O.E Nation, all on TikTok. Follow now, folks. Do it. Go. We'll wait.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Yes.
Get it
All
done.
right.
No, we're waiting.
Real quick, while everybody's waiting, Justin sent 50 stars to the Tony Fund. So,
yes.
So Tony, do you want to give some background to what the Tony Fund is and what these stars are going to go to?
So I was on TikTok, and it was either sent to me or I stumbled across. I think it was sent to me. And there was a guy who had the bright idea wandering around a convenience store. He sees a cardboard cutout of a wrapper or something. He's like, hey, can you get rid of that? Can I have it? And they're like, man, I don't know. It's just all promotional shit. The vendors just bring it and drop it off. So I don't give a shit. So he went back to get it. It was already gone. Somebody already jacked it. So he's like, that got me thinking. Why don't I just make a cardboard cutout of me and I'll put that in the gas station? So he makes like a 9-foot tall cardboard cutout of himself playing a guitar that's made in the shape of a pizza slice. And then he adds a stupid quote and a couple other things to make it look legitimate. And he gets this thing printed out. It's like 9 feet tall. And he just drops it in the middle of a brand new convenience store. He's like, hey, I'm just going to put this right here. Okay. And they're like, yeah, okay. And he leaves. And it was just there. He goes back later that night, and they just moved it off because he'd put it right in the front and center of the fucking place. So they just moved it back to the side of the store, and there it was. This thing blew up all over TikTok. People are going in and taking selfies with it and sending them pictures of it. I'm like, I could do that, and I should do that. So, obviously, we need to fund the cause that is Make Tony G a cardboard cutout, and we will find a gas station, and I will get myself in there, and it will be incredible, folks. This is a cause worth fighting for. This is a cause to get behind. Hell, this is a cause to get underneath, if you know what I mean.
So I got a preview of what the cardboard cutout's going to look like. Let me share my screen real quick. Go ahead, Phil.
It's just one of those things that I think is hilarious. When you showed me that video, it's like, yeah, we do need to. Oh, good Lord.
Yes.
I bet someone's probably going to say, I don't know about this.
Why? I'll make it look legit. Don't worry. We'll put some pizzazz on it. It'll be great.
Send us stars on Facebook so we can get a big cardboard cutout of Tony.
Yes.
Yeah. Hasn't this already been done? Well, yeah, of course it's been done. Yeah, we're not original. Come on.
I mean, goddamn. It's like, what? A podcast? Hasn't somebody done a podcast before? Well, you know what? Well, yeah. Well, fuck you. That's my comeback. Yeah. But
we'll get into that.
Great. But yeah. But well, really? Because like I said, it's just been such a slow news week.
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about. Yeah.
Gosh. Wait, whoa, trial of the century. Whoops. Oh, sorry, folks. But yes, welcome to Big Buckin', and I think we're gonna have to cover just a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Well, first, what are we drinking?
Drinks. Yeah, let's get into drinks. I'm starting out with some Maker's 46. But then I bought a bottle of Macallan Gold today, so we're gonna try that, and if that sucks, I'll jump over either to Blanton's or Maker's 101. Thanks, Justin, by the way, for that bottle.
Absolutely. I am starting off with a little bit of Macallan 15, since you kept talking about it. It got me itching for some Macallan. And then I've also got some Cardew 12 and some White and McCabe blended here. So I'm going to get into all that.
Lovely.
Yes.
It's been a particularly stressful week, so I figured I'm going to get into Bellagio Chianti. It's a red Italian wine. This is 2017. I've been holding on to this bottle. I think I bought it in 2018, so I've been hanging on to it for a good long while, and I'm really... Oh, okay. You're supposed to spin the lever, not the bottle, but I know. My redneckery doth reveal itself. There we go.
So, special occasion bottle. I wonder what that. Yeah.
Okay. The wine is not corked. When they smell the cork, they're not just determining if the wine is good or not. They're just making sure it's not corked. And yes, smells lovely. Let's see how it hits the nose. Ooh, bright red fruits, cherries. This is going to be heavenly. So I'm going to let that set in the glass for just a moment. I want to let the air get into it, but yeah, that's going to be marvelous.
Hearing Tony's kids run around with Phil on the full screen, I'm just like, what is going on?
What is reality? Oh, Lord Almighty God. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to be sipping on some red wine this evening.
Hell yeah. Should we get into it? Obviously, everybody knows. We can show some of the footage that we got today from the verdict being read out, because that'll be part of the topic. But I guess I kind of want to open this up, because trying to understand, try to step out of the echo chamber that we have, right? And we live in this world where we've always been like, well, yeah, Kyle has defended himself. He's innocent. Like, it doesn't matter. We've said this since day one. We watched all the video from the start.
Yet because we have eyes that work.
Yeah, and we took the time to actually look into it before we talked about it. But you have this whole other group of people, and I've found that there's probably about 3 or 4 different stances. You know, some didn't care if Kyle was innocent or guilty. They just hate the system, and they're going to be mad no matter what happens. So whatever, fair, okay. I don't really care. At least you're not talking about it. But the online crazy, seemingly lefty only perspective of this was Kyle crossed state lines with an illegal weapon over and over and over again. And then you had the ones that did know the case, did know that Kyle defended himself, and still wanted him to be guilty because racism. And when probing to justify that racism, I find it difficult to find where the premise is coming from. So I did some research today. I really went through some feeds, some Twitter profiles, and really tried to find what in the hell these people are so upset about. Most are uneducated on what really happened. Sure, that's a chunk of them, but the ones that are really educated about it keep saying, if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, would everybody still be celebrating his not guilty verdict? Or would they have defended him through this whole thing over the last year? And I say, I don't know about you fellas, but I say, if he was black, give him 2 fucking ARs.
Based people.
And yes, I would defend him twice as hard. If that's what you want me to say, fuck yeah, I will. Because it didn't matter in this instance, the race of anything, of anybody. They just think everybody's not going to defend Kyle Rittenhouse if he had a different color of skin. Now, is that true in all social forums or whatever? So now, leave that open to discuss.
Did you guys hear Destiny actually today on the show? He said, I'm going to drop a nuclear take. So this was Destiny's take. Okay. But it's something, worth ruminating on. His take was, if Kyle Rittenhouse would have been black, he would have not been charged, because this would have looked too much like a lynching just in imagery. That was his take on it. So
that is kind of a hot take.
I don't know about that. That's not my take, but that was the one Destiny just dropped today. So yeah, if you got a problem with that, go take it up with Destiny. Not like, he needs the press. But yes, stick the thumb up for the dog and chicken show. My personal take is those kinds of facts are morally uninteresting to me. So I think regardless of who this human would have been in this situation, you have to empathize, because this is somebody being attacked on all different sides. But again, like I said at the onset of this, it's kind of a modern day Othello. It's kind of a tragedy, no matter which way you want to look at it. But at the same time, the innocent, or not innocent, courts don't actually find you innocent. They find you not guilty. But when that actually came down, that was an emotional moment, guys. I don't know about you. When I was watching the actual, because everybody's on the edge of their seat. They want to know what's going to happen. They're like, oh God, what's going to shit? And then it hits. And then even for me, it just kind of felt like this, oh, like I exhaled after the last one. I don't know about all you, and like I was reading on internet forums, people are saying they were in tears. Like it was a very emotional roller coaster.
I got home. I just was like dropping shit off at my house, and then I like popped it up on my computer, and I just happened to see them walking into the courtroom. I'm like, oh shit, is this happening right now? It was just really good timing. Tony's kids interrupted the show. Drink.
Hey,
So I just was like, I was just in the perfect moment. I was like, okay, we're doing this. Let's go live. Like they said that they got a verdict. So we went ahead and streamed it, and you could hear me. I was gonna like clip it out and just have the clip itself and repost it of the verdict being read, but you could hear me in the background go, woo! I was like, well, I can't use that now. Like,
Yeah, that was amazing. I'm like, I couldn't tell if you were muted or if you were even in the room anymore.
I was
like,
I was trying to just let it
silence.
play. I just wanted to let it play and not distract from the moment, because that's a personal moment we all should have. But yeah, when that last one was read and I was like, Kyle falls, I go, woo!
Well,
yeah, that was crazy. I was a little nervous too, Brendan Roy. I read off the first four, and I'm like, surely the fifth one, they just saved it for the last one. They're going to say guilty on the fifth count, and I thought for sure. I was pretty shocked when not guilty on all counts. I was very surprised.
Yeah, that one was
another 100 stars coming in from Justin Chris. Does this count to mute Phil? Just kidding. Just kidding. It don't need to. So if you guys still want to mute Phil when you donate to that, just say so in the comments. We'll put it towards that fund and mute Phil, but you need to clarify if you want to mute Phil. Or mirror Tony, you can do that too.
Yeah, do wills. But goodness gracious. But yeah, when he like fell to the corner of that table, like I was, like I kind of was like, I really thought he was going to medically faint. Like the actual
it looked like he almost did.
Blood flow, close. Like all the blood just was dropping out of his brain into his feet, and he was just gonna hit the floor. And he was probably, like you said, about 20% of the way away from that. And if it would have gone the other way, probably about the same reaction, unfortunately. But yeah, so yeah, this was
crimination.
Yes.
Should we go ahead and watch the reading of it real quick, and we can kind of give a little breakdown of it? And let me share screen. So those that just like heard it from your Facebook friends, here was the actual reading. You can find this on Big Buckin on Facebook. I did stream it there, and also I think I did it on YouTube and Twitch. So it's probably on all of them at the moment. So let's here we go. So of course the first part's probably just going to be noise chair or chair noises. That's what I like to refer to it as.
No, you had to hear the judge finish his lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the nightmare echo time. This was not. Audience, give us a one if you're hearing an echo from us. And that's why I sped it up. You can't catch me, copyright dogs. Gracious. Dale. That is how a lot of people feel. Yeah, at one point,
I'll try to get rid of this. Of fucking course, it won't play now. It's echoing and I have no. There he goes.
But yes, this was quite a moment. Like I remember, like we were all pretty nervous because it's one of those you're on the edge of your seat. I know.
Folks can be seated maybe a few minutes while we.
And I'm the more handsome one. Don't worry about it.
Here, let me pop that off real quick. Well, let me find the spot where it goes through. If we're gonna have this echo problem tonight, it's so weird. Randomly we have it and then we don't. I don't get it. Let me just get.
It took a while for this to get going.
Still on your T. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, but he does have a screen being shared. Unshare your screen.
Yeah.
There. That should get rid of it. That's always what the problem is. It's when we share screens.
Wait a minute. We got some folks coming on in. Yes, and it looked like Peapod. He says he was attacked and defended himself. It's pretty clear cut self-defense, and it looks like a jury of his peers agreed with that analysis. Girly Bear, how you been? Oh, it's been a journey that we call life. I've been getting through farming and harvest. Now we're into the dirt working season. I've got some personal issues. I've been, getting my affairs in order. Now I'm kind of jumping back into the streaming world. Yeah, so it's been a journey that we call life. How about yourself, Girly Bear? I hope you come back here to the K.O.E Nation and we find you happy, healthy, and of course, much the wiser. God bless. But yeah, for those who don't know, Girly Bear, just good people. So now we get into this. I sped up the speed
and add audio to it. Like StreamYard
just
gets
to make
super
sure,
confused and causes this weird
because
fucking echo. I hate it.
I'm thinking
So yeah,
here,
Chicken basically sat there and had a stream going for 8 hours yesterday in anticipation of the verdict coming down, because it was supposed to come down originally Wednesday. That didn't happen, so we were postponed until Thursday, until like 9. Then we thought 10. We were like, well, maybe it's 11. My God, it took 7.5 hours before we finally decided that this isn't happening today, folks. It's just not going to happen. We'll be back here tomorrow. So it was more of the same today, and eventually, shocker, we actually didn't have to stare at the Wisconsin state seal. There was actual stuff happening in the courtroom again. And sure as shit, it was time to go. And that's what Chicken is dialing up now, the actual video footage of the verdict being read. And yeah, emotions were running high. And he even had to clarify, the judge did, that, listen, audience, if you hoot and holler or you rabble, you're going to get swifted right off into contempt, and we're not even going to hesitate, because there's a lot of emotions running around here, and I'm sure there's a lot of emotions in this courtroom, and I got no time for that shit. So there's plenty of armed uniformed officers here. You'll be removed very quickly if you react.
I
Be
wonder
quiet.
what the actual like officer to observer ratio was. It had to be like, oh shit, we have got an invasion, folks. We have got an occurrence. We've got a happening. Whoa, oh shit. Stop it, computer. I don't want that. Knock it off. Really? Oh, really? There we go. Okay. Quibbles over coffee was here. I had one of those little Windows things that came right up over what I wanted to click on. I'm like, really? Stop it. Knock it off. I don't want Google News right now, you bastards. But you are stopping me from introducing Quibbles over coffee, the one and only. Hello, Quibbles. Oh, good Lord, goodness gracious. We've got Girly Bear. We got Quibbles. We got, my cup runneth over. How are we doing this evening, all of you beautiful people? We're just going over the last word, the final word, the one and only word, Phil K.O.E.'s word on the trial of the century, really. And we are here with a bunch of great people. Quibbles, yes, is a cool dude. I like whenever we're on panels or whenever I just run into this guy, just great time. And I put Quibbles in, like, he's one of that very few class of people who their intellect is actually challenging. Like, I actually enjoy the back and forth with them. Like, I've even kind of talked about this with Hans one time. That was like, when I was on with like Bosch and like, I figured it would just like, okay, this will be the biggest intellectual challenge. And no, it wasn't that big of a deal. But like folks like Quibbles, folks like Hans, like those are the folks that you really need to check out. They've got a great, like, yeah, Quibbles Over Coffee, a very underrated channel. Definitely check him out. Even if you don't agree with his politics, I love the fact that he's got a reason for what he thinks. And to me, it's one of those, as one of the official Twitch's unofficial liaison to the right. I do think it's like, all right, I want to hear what the other side's thinking. So I go over to Quibbles to see what they're thinking. But yes, this is the final word, the only word, the necessary word on Kyle Rittenhouse and pretty much all other issues, conflicts, and unknown knowledge can all be solved right here at the K.O.E Nation. Come on, folks. A little closer than we think, because
absolutely. I thought for sure, even after he said that,
I'm
somebody was going to fuck up and something was going to be said, or a gasp or a clap. Like, we're going to see this live on TV. Holy shit, this is going to happen. But no,
All right.
composure.
All right, I got it queued up, I think, at the right spot now. I'll go ahead and make it full screen. We'll mute ourselves so there's no echo. Hopefully, God damn it.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
not
This
muted, folks.
one of these days we'll figure out StreamYard's echo bullshit. I should just do the virtual cam through fucking Streamlabs, and we'll never have to worry about it again. But 12 days of pangolin.
There's another thing I have to learn.
Slow the spread, you mean? 15 days to slow the spread from the pangolin?
Yes.
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 That's what we're
Any
going
day
with.
now.
Oh,
All right, here we go.
Allegedly.
Verdicts.
Allegedly. Screen and screen and screen.
That's the first count of the information. Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find
Oh,
defendant
wow.
Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of
Okay.
the information, Richard McGinnis. We,
And
the jury,
that's-
find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
And you
As
can
to the
see
third
it
count of the
start to hit
information,
him right
unknown
here.
male,
In
we, the
terms of
jury,
body
find the defendant
language,
Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
third not guilty.
As to the fourth count of the
Fourth,
information,
yep, he's
Anthony
starting to
Huber,
cry.
we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Four is not, and then
As to the
fifth
fifth
one.
count of the information,
Yep, he's
James
shaking.
Rosecrans, we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Yep. There we
The
go.
jury, are these your unanimous verdicts?
And he
Is there
can't,
anyone
like,
who does
his
not agree with the
legs
verdict
drop
thus far?
out. He almost faints.
We wait the jury called.
Wow. And, like, at that point, that's when you can.
There you have it.
Wow.
I'm. And wait for. All right.
You-
Now we're back.
Yeah,
Yes. But yeah, that was the point. Like, I'm somebody that loves to read body language. A, it's helpful, and B, I play poker, so you kind of have to be able to do so. Norwalk IRL. Speaking of badass YouTube stations that are vastly underrated, Norwalk IRL fucking really deep dive interviews with people in his community and trying to just get an internet presence for his community, and God bless it. So yeah, Norwalk IRL, another bit of good people. Check them out on YouTube. But yeah, that one, when you're like reading body language, like when he tried to get into his chair, like his legs were weak, and like I think, yeah, he probably was very close to the actual medical fainting. So that was regardless of where you find yourself on the political spectrum, that was an emotions are high moment. And like I said earlier, and like I'll say in this panel as well, the system worked. I mean, like, it's we can hate it, we can love it, we can, regardless, and like I say later, like, yeah, I want to thank the jurors because they did their civic duty, and it was a hell of a one. It was a very unenvious task. Like, these major trials, these big politicized trials, you don't want to be a juror in it. I mean, it's just going to be a shit show, and people on whatever side are going to try and turn your life into a living hell just because you're doing your civic duty. And yeah, like MSNBC, wow. Like, now granted, I'm on the right, so me saying they lost all credibility with me, like, I understand what that, but that was just like jarring for me, because there was some, like, yeah, they're biased, but you still kind of had the placebo effect of news. But when they ended up getting kicked out of the courtroom for trying to find out the jurors' identities, I was like, oh man, bad look, MSNBC. But let's get a little deeper into
Now we're
this,
back.
because there's a couple of really good takes. I want
The
y'all
emotions going through that
absorb.
kid. It was after between third and fourth count, you could start
Yes.
seeing his emotions starting to get the better of him. And fourth one, he was like, holy shit, is this really happening? And then the fifth one comes in, and yeah.
Well, he had to be thinking the same thing we were all thinking, that when this didn't come down Wednesday, it wasn't looking good. Like, we thought for sure that this was just nothing more than bad voodoo, bad omen for him, and this was going to go south pretty quick, because after taking an extra 2 days to decide on a verdict, you would assume that meant there was a couple of holdouts, or even one holdout, that wanted to vote the other way. A consensus couldn't be reached, and it took an extra day and a half. So what was the holdout? And that got answered today, it appears. And I would say it was probably just a lone person that was still probably terrified that they were going to get doxxed in real life being a jury member.
Yep. I was going to say, even if this went the other way, there's and maybe we can get into this a little bit more after. I wanted to bring this up because this has kind of been like the internet's fucking investigative shit. I brought it up on that 8-hour fucking stream yesterday, so not a lot of people probably fucking seen it because it was it was kind of hidden in all the bullshit. But on the prosecutor's laptop, he has this file or this program on here called Handbrake. And if you look up above it, I didn't even notice it yesterday on the stream, but that's another specific called Format Factory.
Mm-hmm.
And the accusation that seems to be coming across is that drone footage that they were going to use to that may have caused Kyle to be found guilty on any of this came from that last minute video that dropped in of the drone footage that the defense never got an actual 1080p copy of. And that copy that the defense got that was in 480 quality, much less clear image, was compressed. So Handbrake specifically is meant to compress files. Supposedly it does not downgrade quality, but Format Factory sure as shit does. But these are very specific programs that you would use, and then the prosecutor himself said that he did not know how to reformat or to compress video files, but he's got this on his laptop. So I don't know. This isn't like Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
Like everybody could have Adobe Premiere, you wouldn't bat an eye.
That makes me wonder.
Yeah, it's like everybody. That's normal. Handbrake, no. And I did look this up. If you look it up, it's a little pineapple in a martini glass. It's the image. I showed it yesterday on the stream. Yeah, it's the fucking same program. Like there's no questioning that he's got this file on his computer. So even if he was found guilty, I still think there would have been cause for some other.
I think all the extra. All the chicanery that happened outside of this and from the get-go, even up to Wednesday night, Thursday, there was plenty of grounds to at least entertain the idea. But I saw the footage earlier on TikTok. Somebody had it side by side, and it makes a massive fucking difference. Let's not pretend like it doesn't. Anybody who's pissed off about the verdict, let's be honest with ourselves for a second. No, if there's evidence, they're supposed to have access to it, and that means full access, not the condensed version. And if you look at both of them in real time, it is a massive difference. We're talking about blurs on a screen versus actual outlines that could actually pinpoint who is who and who is where. So yeah, it's not just a oopsies. That's a legitimate piece of concern.
Drink. Travis says Format Factory is the easiest conversion program in the world. You drop a file and pick start. Format Factory will downgrade any video within a few minutes.
There you go.
Now, when it comes, like I'm thinking about on my podcast sometime, I was going to go over just Binger's closing statements, because to me, Binger and Krause as prosecutors were a study in contrast. Binger, even like there was a lot of times that I didn't agree with what he was doing, but
it was persuasive.
He put on a master class in persuasion, and his closing argument was, I even thought like, fuck, that's really good. Now, Krause, on the other hand, was very unpersuasive. I found his argument,
lunchbox.
That's what some folks are calling him.
That's what. I'm the dick of the group. I'll call him Lunchbox.
But I just found him very unpersuasive. I just didn't think his art. Like sometimes you gotta take a beating. Any juror's gonna hear that and think, what? Like but the oh goodness, what was the other guy's name? I had a total Binger. There we go. Yeah, his closing statement was a masterclass of persuasion, and I think that's probably just that closing statement is probably why the jury deliberation took at least an extra day. Like if he hadn't have delivered such a persuasive closing statement, I think we probably would have had the decision yesterday.
I think it was everything leading up to that, like the way he carried himself. And again, you got to understand, like Chicken pointed this out a couple of times already. The jury didn't get to see him get berated by the judge after being a dick. That's important. We got to see that. Phil, you mentioned this. That makes a huge difference when talking about a jury trial, because if they're not seeing the interactions between the judge and the prosecution that we're seeing, like they're not getting the same story. which is so strange to think since they're the ones that are supposed to be getting all of it. But what he did in the courtroom leading up until the closing statements, I think that probably weighed in the most. You're right, Phil. It was incredibly persuasive. I was like, damn, that was good. Like you said, it was good. I listened to it and then I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
He finally decided to put on his big boy pants and do some actual lawyering. And wow, he might have actually just swung a couple people who were sitting on the fence, because that was about as well spoken as you can get as a prosecution in this case. And yeah, that's another reason I expected at least one of those counts to not favor Kyle. But again, everything Binger did that the jury did see leading up to that point. Talk about I don't want to say it's unprofessional, maybe a little unconventional, but tell me you can't tell me at least half that jury didn't think he was coming off like a fucking slime.
Yeah. He was very unlikable.
Oh, incredibly unlikable.
Grow the Farm Up
Incredibly.
says, I thought the judge was decent. He basically said he would probably mistrial if any guilty verdict on any. I was thinking he might. He might,
yeah.
even if with or without prejudice. I don't know. He had grounds for mistrial several times through that whole thing. Judge was a little non-conventional, but thought overall fair as a judge can be. Yeah, he had some really base takes.
But before we move on to the next one, I wanted to address that previous one there from Grow the Farm Up. And I've actually been going into the comment sections of a lot of Twitch panels, a lot of people that I've been debating with, and a lot of lefties are really upset with this judge. There's a comment here I want to. DOJ has their cards. Do you think they will utilize? I don't think so. I think this is going to be it for Mr. Rittenhouse. Now, what's weird is Jerry Nadler is thinking about wanting to pursue DOJ charges, and I don't think anything's going to come of it. Personally, now I've been wrong before. We'll see. But Scott Adams today had pretty funny thing is like, all right, if you were to take every Democrat and just like hook up a machine that could like extract every bad part of every Democrat in the world, and you took all that bad stuff and smushed it all together, what would emerge is Jerry Nadler. And I was like, that is incredibly good visual persuasion. And it's a joke, it's humorful, and it kind of gave me a little bit of a chuckle, I'll be honest. And so but yeah, that's the great thing about good humor is once you hit somebody with a good joke, it actually allows you to change their frame. Their frame's been shifted if they laugh. The thing is, the DOJ has the means to use the law unethically, according to Ninja Medic, to just get him on something. I don't know. I think at one point the double jeopardy laws do have to apply just to get him the time they want, because that's one of the reasons why our Constitution actually put that in, because if they didn't get the conviction they want, they could just keep trying you again and again and again, which happened to an American citizen that was suspected of murder in Italy. I forget the name or even the case, whether she was guilty as sin or is innocent and as clean as the wind-driven snow. I don't really know. But I remember the Italian courts wanted to just keep on trying her and trying and trying her. And that's one of the things that separate American and European legal systems. Not mafia. Al Capone sentence on finance. Yeah, they got Capone on just whatever they could. Don't get brazen with me, Judge. Oh my God. And hey, welcome, Wahoo Sam. How we doing this evening? All you beautiful people. So double jeopardy can be avoided. Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but I both hope and predict that it won't happen. I really just don't. The Amanda Knox case. Thank you, Girly Bear. Thank you. Now, that one, I do remember hearing some people say, she's rapscallion ne'er-do-well, and others saying, she did nothing wrong. Like, I've heard both sides of that argument, and so I don't really know where to come down on that personally. It just doesn't seem to be like a big cultural difference, because and I forget, did she end up having to go back? I don't know. The thing is, they won't, I think, for 20, there is that. Like, God, interesting thing to think about. But yeah, if I were, like I said, if I were Kyle, I would be avoiding the public eye for the next 6 to 18 months. I'd say 18 months minimum. Just go read some books, go see if there's a university somewhere that'll take you, and do that. Have you watched any of the McMichael? I haven't actually. I've been kind of wrapped up in this Rittenhouse thing, and that one was one where at first when I just saw the film, I thought, well, this is pretty cut and dry, but then and it was actually Tom Foolery who actually introduced me to some other ideas. And it was really like, okay, this one is not clear cut at all. This one, there could be some fuckery that you could find here, and this is a very marginal case, and this is going to be one that the courts will have to decide. And at first, I was on one side, but I can be persuaded. Let's see. First. No, she didn't go back. They want to think they helped them, but it only helps them in 2024. I don't think they're going to do that. If they don't do it by 2022 soon, they're not going to. Grow the farm out. Ninja Medic is correct. This was a state court case. It would have to go all the way to appellate court to see if federal court could even convene a grand jury. Politics, of course, being that the Dems are again on their way out, probably. And yeah, that's, a lot can happen between now and 2022. But if I had to bet money on it, if I was forced to bet money on it for some reason, I would say I'd be more inclined to believe that the Republicans are going to take the House, and they probably are going to take the Senate by a slimmer margin than a lot of people would like to think. It's going to be by the hair of their chinny chin, but then you're going to have Mitch McConnell. I'm back. Well. And yeah, I just can't resist any opportunity to try and pull out my Mitch McConnell impression. Yeah, I'll do it at every turn. Let's see here. Kelly Adams, I've served on a jury and I can see where some people would want to make sure they made the right decision. Glad they got it right. Well, thank you, Kelly Adams. And yeah, thank you for that civic service. And that's one of those I've been called in to jury duty before, but I ended up not getting selected for the jury. But yeah, it's one of those, like, in these high profile cases, it's not I don't like, it's not an enviable task. I'll put it that way, and it's quite one to do. But I'd be surprised to be the Senate hold 50-50. House is gone. Yeah, the House is going to the Republicans. It's a wash either way. I agree mostly. Well, yeah, if the House goes Republican, it just depends on how dirty do they want to play. Will they push for impeachment? They can if they want. It's their right now. And when you open Pandora's box like the Dems did, turnabout's now fair play. So that's, are we going to be doing that now every time the House changes parties? That might be what happens going forward. I don't like the diagnosis for the country. If that's the case, I'm not exactly happy about it, but we'll see what happens. Now the Senate, it's not a favorable map for Republicans, but the polling is amazing. But we got a lot of time to cover, so we'll see what happens. Wahoo Sam says, I think the midterms could be surprising. They are already using Rittenhouse verdict to energize the base emotionally. People tend to vote. Yeah, we'll see. The legal system, though, the law is not given to the jurors full. The defense and prosecutors argue to tell the jurors along the judge, not the law, but okay, I get what you're saying. So we can, like I said, you got to thank the jurors, because that's just such an unenviable task to be a juror in one of these high profile cases, and your life is just disrupted. And it's a civic duty when they do it, and it's unenviable. And you kind of have to. And again, well, what are you going to do? It was a unanimous vote by a jury of his peers. So at that point, you kind of have to. There's really nothing else to do. Let's get just a little
And
deeper.
like,
This
he's
judge.
proud to be an American.
Well,
He's racist.
what I would put in the comment section was a judge that gives the defendant the occasional benefit of the doubt supposed to be a good thing.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, so that one was, I didn't get a lot of response to that, but
A real tweet I saw before the show tonight was somebody on Twitter who said the biggest mystery of this case is how the judge manages to fit his white robe under that black one.
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's awful. Like,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So moving right along to grow the farm up, self-defense was on trial here. That's why this turned into such a huge trial. If this was not self-defense, then nothing is in the Constitution is safe, at least for another day. So yeah, or then nothing is. The Constitution is safe, at least for another day. Punctuation is important, people.
That was Steven Crowder's take on the whole thing. He was pretty much it's not Kyle on trial, it's your right to self-defense is on trial.
I said this on the Danabo panel I was on a week or two ago, and I said, like, I'm sorry, if this isn't self-defense, then nothing is. I don't know what to say here. And so that's why this did have such a large implication for what civil life is going to look like. And people are worried about everybody on the left's really worried about like vigilantes are going to go out and all this is going to embolden vigilantes.
I was worried about vigilantes going out. They are the vigilantes that were going out. I was there to begin with, for fuck's sake.
Well, Jesus. That's like, to me, it's like, I don't really know. I don't know if there's anybody out there that's like, hey, a year of court proceedings. That's
guy got off. Like he almost got killed by 3 people, but he got off.
Yeah. Now here's like, now this isn't a huge pivot, but it's kind of like it's an interesting element, because now we get into these civil suits. When they
that's a huge pivot.
Well, it's well,
that's next. Hold that thought. Yeah, that's next. Like, let's wrap some of this up. I think Travis
attorney had a funny one. It's like, I'm a criminal defense attorney. That's not my thing. Please don't ask me that.
Right. Travis makes a good point here, though. The defense already had a mistrial. If they wanted, the judge could have easily considered it right away. He was saving it to the end as kind of like, I don't know if it was a last ditch effort to make sure Kyle walked. Like, I'm not sure the judge is that damn biased in here, but he was saving it till the end of the trial before he made any ruling on any of those things. But it's super important. It never had to come to that, because this is, as much as this is cringy for me to say, but Kyle being found guilty should be considered as almost like a healing moment for this country of, hey, there's some sanity still left out here.
Not guilty.
Or the not guilty. Like, it shows that there's still some fucking sanity. The system has parts that are broken. There's a lot of issues out there. It's all this shit's come to light over the last few years, but at the end of the day, that wasn't broken. The system through this trial, well, it may have been broken in the other favor or in the other leg, but like overall, at the end of the day, the right outcome happened.
It's hard to dispute, especially when you see, like, this is an 18-year-old kid whose life was literally on the line. And when you see the emotion that came from it, it's really like, it is relieving, and it is a beautiful thing to see. And yes, the system worked. That's the thing that, like, you need to keep in mind here, folks. Like this is kind of like, I've got all kinds of Ninja Medic going through my head about this at the moment, but I'm glad this went the way it did. Hey, Lynn West. Also, in retrospect, glad that
how we doing
the
there, man?
Previous
God
trial
bless.
of the century earlier this year, the Chauvin case, went the way it did. Could you imagine the incredible miscarriage of justice that those 2 cases had gone the other way?
Yeah.
Like we would all have a lot worse feeling about our system, but in this, we've shown the system worked. And so so this is it's an interesting day for jurisprudence, for America, for civil life, and going forward. Now, like I made the observation the last time we were talking about this, out of the OJ trial, we ended up getting the Kardashians.
Right.
I wonder what's going to be the Kardashian that we get out of this trial. We have no way of knowing what it's going to be. It's going to be 15 years down the road. It's like, oh, that kid from the Rittenhouse trial thing, that's like his cousin or something. Who knows? But
we'll get to that too. Grow the farm up. The Kyle's future. That'll be a little bit later in the show. I got a lot of thoughts on that.
So before we move on to anything else, should we touch on a couple of the newsworthy things that happened before the verdict with the MSNBC operatives and the Call of Duty binger?
There were so many distractions in this fucking thing. Oh my God.
Well, like I was saying with the civil thing, like I wonder if Kyle has a legitimate case against the likes of like LeBron James.
Yes.
And then also like, I don't think you can actually bring a civil suit against the president of the United States, but the president actually called him a white supremacist. Like, now that's one of those, like, if there's any lawyers,
and that was before he was president too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, now that's one of those, like, that's a whole can of worms. I don't even think Kyle Rittenhouse and Sandman put together would be able to bring the resource to bear to actually see what would happen there. So I don't think you're allowed to bring civil suit against the president, but that's weird that a president mentioned a case like this. Normally they don't.
There was a lot of people that hitched their horse to this racism wagon that had no wheels on it. And yeah, I think I alluded to it earlier. I think that the mainstream media, well, no, oh my God, I almost said it. Drink anyway for even fucking alluding to it.
Ne'er-do-well.
The corporate fucking press, media, whatever you want to call them, they were on trial in this case. And that's why you had the Joy Reids and the dipshit talking heads on CNN all in on a guilty verdict, because they have done nothing but smear this kid. Okay, now imagine, like, the way I try to get a lefty to understand this is, okay, yeah, Kyle got off on everything. 2 people died. He killed 2 people and he gets off on everything. But he's never going to get a job. He's never going to have a normal life again. Like, his world completely changed. I sympathize for the people that died.
It's not like he's going to college now.
Right. Like, I sympathize that people died. The families have to deal with that. Like, there's a lot of things. You can be cold hearted to the whole thing and talk about their criminal records. I always find that a little cringe, even though Rosenbaum was a dirty son of a bitch. I don't even want to go into that. That's like too far gone. But at the end of the day, like, Kyle's fucking life is ruined too, and he's still alive, and he's got to live through the whole goddamn thing now. And all you've had are all these talking heads on these news stations, pretty much telling white suburban.
Okay. I go to the bathroom for 5 seconds, and oh Lord, we've got ourselves a small little we got ourselves a small little back and forth we got here. Let's get into this just a little bit. Ninja Medic thinks Trump's gonna be Speaker of the House. Let's see. You know, that I don't know about all that. MSNBC, let's see. And yeah, so there's a little bit of disagreement about if Trump forming a social media platform or if he'd be the Speaker of the House. And what I'm just going to say about that is, regardless of your politics, can you imagine better television? Oh dear God, Trump being made Speaker of the fucking House. Like, oh my God. In terms of television, it's sublime. It'd be the best. You like the news would be fun to watch again. Okay, like yes, I'm like I can. Uh, yes, it's all hearsay, but can you imagine anything that would make MSNBC more fun to watch? I think she would. Oh my god. Oh my lord, that's actually kind of funny. It'd be entertaining, but the right needs to move on from him for the sake of its own survival. I'd wager, according to Peapod Humperdinck. You know, that's an interesting one because everybody thinks if there's anybody that could do the Grover Cleveland, it's him. But at the same time, there's some other folks that are coming up that would definitely serve as good presidents. Let's see. Girly Beard Kyle will just go to work for the right side media. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen to him. We'll have to wait and see. And I'm sure if it makes headlines, we'll cover it right here. But Trump as Speaker of the House. I'm sorry. That is just like, just every day. All right. As the Speaker of the House of Representatives, of which I represent all of you. Like, oh my Lord God. Like, yes, it would be fucking great. And if you're somebody that's wanting to run for president in 2024, that's exactly what you want him to do. Yes, you are the Speaker of the House, and you're doing such a great job, Donald, that I'm going to go ahead. And that's why, actually, um, his lawyer says he wants to. Oh my God. You know, when you say that they need to move on, that's why in 2024, I, Phil K.O.E., have announced my candidacy for the presidency of the United States of America in 2024. Do the right thing. Vote extreme. Yes, yes. I mean, everybody complains about it, but I'm going to do something about it. So, you know, and I'm going to see, I'm going to do my reason. I'm going to cross my T's and dot my I's. I'm going to see how far a common folk can actually get in trying to run for president. I'm going to film the whole experience. It's going to be fun. So definitely join me on that journey, folks. It's going to be fucking amazing. But yes, when you bring that up where there needs to be, honestly, Phil, there are places where nobody can test him. Yes, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Cheney land. When you get into the more rural areas of the United States, the problem is finding people to just run for the office, because a lot of folks, when you get out into, like, you know, the Midwest, like, folks just prefer to be left alone and just like, no, I don't want to. No, I got enough problems in my life, and everybody's got problems. We all got problems. You got problems. I got problems. Yeah, it's life is tragedy and suffering, and that's one of the first fundamental observations of Buddhism. Life is suffering. So yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? But still, meet it all with a smile and a chuckle in your heart is what I try to do with my life. Wahoo Sam, some town actually had a cat for a mayor. I live in a village so small that there actually is no mayor. There's just a village council of 3 people, and that's the entirety of the local government. And so, yeah, it's kind of fascinating. 99 problems in Pelosi is, oh. That's actually pretty funny. I might steal a variant of that joke someday. But yeah, so small town life is just kind of a different thing. Like, and when people are saying like he crossed state lines and drove 20 miles with the Rittenhouse thing, it's like, to get this haircut, I had to drive 40 miles from my house. Okay, like that's just the way that rural towns are set up. Like here in Nebraska, there's a town about, give or take, usually 8 to 15 miles in any direction, because that was about as far as a train could go back in the day. And so you just set up a town every couple of miles for the train station. Uh, let's see. Girly Bear's got Trump can make Mitch McConnell's spot if he were to retire. They passed a law a while ago that if Mitch were to retire, the governor would have to replace him from someone from the GOP recommended by the party. Yeah, Mitch has got a very special place in the Republican Party, and Republicans have a very strange, ambivalent relationship with Mitch McConnell. And I'm gonna sum it up like this: this is Republicans' general relationship with Mitch McConnell. You ready? All right, and scene. Mitch, just when we thought you couldn't sell us down the road, compromise your conservative principles anymore, or just generally make us feel like we don't even matter as voters or as constituents, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. We got Barrett on the court. Come here. Come here, pal. Come here. Yeah, that's your average Republican's kind of ambivalent relationship with Mitch McConnell. As like just when you think just when you need him in that last moment, like, oh God, they're gonna pass some kind of gun control bill, and at the last minute, Mitch McConnell and the like stop it from getting passed. And that's the way that your average Republican voters actually do view that. Toddy, eating a late night cheese sandwich. Well, how we doing there? Welcome to the show. Wahoo Sam, kind of rich coming from the people that act like our southern border doesn't exist. Ninja Medic, funny how Space Force was ridiculed and needed. That's one thing that I think we ignore at our own peril. Like, Space Force was a brilliant idea. And I like the fact that we have one now. And here's the funniest thing. Okay, are you ready for this? This is the punchline of all punchlines with this Space Force thing. If 10,000 years from now, our progeny is exploring the stars, what they're going to say is, yes, and our great and mighty Space Force was started by a human being named Donald Trump in the 21st century. And like, school children are going to learn this name as just a little factoid that they'll have to fill in like their fourth grade history test. And in 10,000 fucking years from now, it's going to be the funniest fucking thing when you realize hypersonic missiles everywhere, possibly, allegedly. Can StreamYard be more beautiful? Oh, I don't know. I mean, when you've got this beautiful face, what else do you really need? But welcome to the show. But yeah, to me, I was even on a panel where we were talking about settling on other worlds and like trying to colonize Mars. And there was people that they made this really weird argument where it's like, oh, we shouldn't go anywhere else until we've solved all the problems in the world. And I said, if that's what you think, because there'll never be a point where we just go, that's it. All the problems have been solved. All boredom's amused. All anxieties tranquilized. Never gonna fucking happen. If you think we can't go anywhere else in the solar system until that, you're not a smart person. And that's a bit of a persuasion that I utilize once in a while. But let's see, we will be corporeal beings in 10,000 years if we survive. Peapod, Humperdinck, people always say those things. I would bet you money 10,000 years from now, you're going to be shocked how unchanged humans will look. And like, we'll be pretty much damn near the same unless we decide to do like our own specific like gene editing, and that becomes a cultural norm. That'll be the only reason that we'll be looking different within 10,000 years. But if we can get to interplanetary species, then we effectively can't go extinct. Because like, say we've got a major colony on Mars, it's got like millions of people, and we've got Earth, and something happens that wipes out all the people on Mars, we can send people from Earth to just start over. If something happens on Earth, we can send people from Mars eventually to start over. And so you actually effectively can't go extinct as a species. I think we would expand lands on the ocean. China made a high. That's interesting. Scientists allegedly got prison for it, but allegedly. Peapod, Humperdinck, I definitely agree that it will be a step in the digitization of our species, though. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Watching and playing Titanfall 2. Nice. But yeah, I am a big advocate of going basically within the solar system. Trying to go beyond it, that's going to be a bit of a harder task, but and then it's really a question of how you start terraforming different planets. Venus, turns out there is actually a surface on Venus, rock surface that the Soviets actually photographed in the 80s. Because when you're a kid, you just learn that it's gas giant, but that's not actually true. Thanks. God bless. Republicans got a weed plan. That would be interesting to see. And it's going to pass. Really? If you got a link for that, because that's not what I've heard, but I'll Wahoo Sam, we would still be reliant on the sun for life as long as we stay in our solar system. Very true, Wahoo Sam. Very true. But once we go interplanetary, we at least start thinking beyond living with just our sun. And that's when we can find ways to maybe jump from solar system to solar system if we have to. I bet Trump's going to legalize weed if you Thanks. But yeah, within our solar system, yeah, we're still going to be relying on the sun. But still, I mean, even if you can go expand out in the solar system, that buys you a lot of time. Tax the fuck out of it after you legalize. That does seem like a plan that a lot of people are behind nowadays. But we'll see how that all shakes out in it's going to take an act of Congress, I think, ultimately. I don't think you're going to get it any other way without an act of Congress, actually. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, and that'll be interesting. It's like on the people on Mars, what's legal there versus what's legal here. And it'll be a very interesting world we live in. And then here's the kicker. Here's the real kicker, folks. Once we go interplanetary as a species, here on our planet, you really can't make a commodity worth anything until it gets to a port. Oil is kind of worthless until you got access to a port. And that's why the Keystone XL pipeline was a big deal, because they were trying to get this oil from Canada down to this port in Houston. And so the way that you'll be able to speculate on goods in the interplanetary world is once you have a barge of goods that breaks the gravity well, you can start to speculate on it, just the way they speculate on corn, soy, oil, everything else in the world. So the minute you have a barge that breaks a planet's gravity well and it starts moving towards another planet, you can start speculating on it and the price of it'll change. And so, yeah, that'll be that'll be an interesting one. Biden and the Dems aren't interested in legalizing it at all currently. Yeah, so that's an interesting. We'll see what happens with that, because the polling has really changed on that issue in the last 10 years. But we will see. Ultimately, like I said, it's going to take an act of Congress. But I want to get just a little deeper into this, because there's a few more points I wanted to get into this before we move on this.
That's literally what's happened for the last year. The time for some pay is probably here. I don't think Rittenhouse needs to go after Joe Biden. I bet CNN's writing a fucking check right now saying, hey, just don't bring this up. Like, we'll just pay you now.
Did you see the Young Turks? Anna Kasparian basically had a.
Oh, she turned about face.
I'm totally wrong. I was totally wrong about all of this. I was completely full of it. I didn't know what I was talking about. Everything I said, the exact opposite's true. Please don't sue me.
Yeah,
like that was
she
pretty
did
much.
an
Well, that
about
makes
face
up for
real
it.
fast. Yeah. Good job. Thanks, Anna Kasparian. And they buried it in the middle of a 3-hour show, I believe, too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So like.
Now,
hardly anybody's seen it.
Still refuses to fucking back down. So they might still see some consequence for that. But that I don't think Kyle's even thinking that right now. He's just like different world. Like
North Carolina governor offers Rittenhouse a job as an intern. Tells his constituents, "Be armed, be dangerous, be moral."
Oh man,
so, is that a real thing?
If that is a real thing. Then that would be in line with what I heard. Like my brother commented. How earlier, we doing there, little fettuccine? Congress. God bless. Like that sounds insane. Favorite two sides for Thanksgiving dinner. He has name recognition now. Waka waka. And there's he's one of the most recognized names in America. Is there Yeah, he's one of the most recognized names in America right now. And like even Frank Luntz, Dr. Frank Luntz, who if you have not read his work, you need to read his book, Words That Work. He's a guy that actually polled every single word in the English language. And he said that people that get into politics
Howdy,
and get into the
sir.
news, I'm shocked they don't try to go to Hollywood, considering how well known they were. Like in 2005, 2006, John Kerry could have gone to Hollywood and just cleaned up about $80 million worth of contracts in a year.
It's true. Thanks, Trav. Outrage as Madison Cawthorn tells supporters to be armed, be dangerous after Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. He also
Wow.
said be moral. I love how they left that one out, but
Oh
my
what? You mean
it's a white supremacist dog whistle.
corporate media? You mean the corporate media would somehow edit what you say? It's like, like if you've ever seen the Animaniacs, they have the song about the presidents and the president of the USA. It could be you someday, and the press will distort everything you say. So get on Air Force One and fly away. Yeah, it's a. So yeah,
Never-
even back then we knew it.
I don't think they ever once say that he said moral in here.
What? No.
No way. Is this a hit piece? Let's just do a simple search here. No, I don't know.
Oh man.
Moral. They did put it in there. You have the right to defend yourself, be armed, be dangerous, and be moral. Let's see, where it's about a quarter of the way down.
Yep. But yeah, Grow the Farm Up talks about like, yeah, it's a good thing that the jury was composed of the folks who it was. And also, like Scott Adams said this earlier today, and I kind of have to echo this. You have to thank the jury as well. They performed a very, very stressful civic duty. And they had to be sequestered, and they had to make sure they didn't tell people. They weren't fully sequestered, but they had to basically sequester a part of their lives off from everybody, and they had to make sure they didn't discuss it, and they had to try and keep their identity secret.
And multiple times they were almost exposed and doxxed by people who couldn't be patient enough for a verdict before they outraged, which is fucking ridiculous. And not just the general public, the fucking media pieces of shit, for God's sake, couldn't even sit on their fucking hands and wait for a verdict to come down. It's fucking ridiculous. People doing their civic goddamn duty can't even feel safe doing that because people want to take the easy way out and dox people that have the last say who are just trying to do their civic. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, and I said it, and I'll say it again. MSNBC has lost what little credibility they had with me. That was despicable. Like that was, and when the guy just admitted to the police, like, no, this is pretty standard. I was told to do this by my spirit. Like, okay, wow,
this is common practice. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, what exactly happened? Maybe we should explain.
So yeah, the jury on day 3 of deliberation, or two or three, as they get on their bus that's blacked out windows, and we have already had somebody take picture or like pull up in a truck, start taking pictures. The police had to take the phone, delete the picture or video or whatever it was. Like this was public knowledge that there was jury tampering threats and stuff like that. So the judge puts them on this blackout bus, sends them back and forth on from that, so they can't see what's going on. They can't see protesters, they can't see signs, all that shit. Well, they can still hear everything, by the way. But then the bus driver or somebody notices this car's tailing them, and they kind of purposefully like speed through a yellow so this person would have to blow a red. Well, sure enough, they blew red, pull them over for a traffic violation. And hey, why are you following this? Well, my boss at MSNBC told me to follow these guys. So yeah, knowing full well, and I brought this up yesterday again on the stream, what was the desired outcome? It had no good desired outcome. It was going to stoke the fire to cause more problems. If they got a mistrial or fucking anything happened to cause this case to go to shit, it would stoke tensions for even longer. It would create a new a longer narrative that they've already been using. Like it would have just continued on the same old Kyle's racist. They could say it longer. That's all they wanted out of this whole fucking thing, and they almost got it. They almost got away with it a couple of fucking times. I hope I hope they fucking investigate whatever happened between him and that guy's boss. And I hope they fucking press charges. This shit, they need to make an example out of the fucking corporate press for that bullshit. If that's common practice, that's fucking scary. Like, I get paparazzi fucking chase down celebrities and all this weird shit. Like, I know that's part of the game, but somebody's got to make an example out of this when it's a court proceeding. You're chasing down grandma and grandpa that are on a fucking jury. Fuck you.
Ridiculous.
It's fucking ridiculous. Should never be happening.
Yeah,
No, absolutely not.
I remember the last time I got called in to jury duty. It was a very long time ago, and when I got there, like you said, it was like our high school math teacher. It was grandpa. It was some like 26-year-old kid who's just learning the civic process for the first time right here today. Like, it's like, what the hell is jury duty? Why am I like? And yeah, it's a fairly decent cross section of folk, and so that was. When you're trying to go after that, it's like, oh, good God, it does seem scummy.
Yeah, sorry, Lynn. So so I know what Lynn's talking about. Anybody watched the live stream yesterday? I got it set up to where anytime you send stars to us, it pops up Tony in his little outfit on the screen. I will for our next live show, I'll make sure I'll do a virtual cam so I can at least get that to pop up anytime those do live. I didn't have time today to get my virtual cam set up the way I want. I got mute gated on my stars. Did you want to mute them or not? You said no. Damn it, Chris. Sorry, that was distracting. I just had, oh God, and Amanda found a fucking account I haven't banned yet. No murder charges were necessary, but allowing a kid with that kind of firepower is like letting the 10-year-old behind the wheel on the interstate. Some shit is gonna go down. That I'm sure that's not all you have to say. He was 17 years old. Would you let a 17-year-old behind the wheel of a car? There's a big difference between 10 and 17. That's why most kids get to go hunting by the time that they're the age of 17. They get to use shotguns, which actually have more force on your shoulder than a fucking rifle. You know nothing.
I think the general gist of that is
shut up, man.
It's still the same thing that a lot of people
shut up, man.
Were thinking this entire trial, and the thing that people were still focused on about this trial. Well, he didn't need to be there, right? He didn't, but
he was.
Neither did everybody else, and they were there too. And he
neither
wasn't
did
on
Rosenbaum.
trial. He wasn't on trial for being there. That's not what he was on trial for, and so many people forgot that. It sucks that he was there. It sucks that everybody was there to begin with. It's nice that he was trying to help, and it sucks that he had to arm himself to be there, because guess what? He needed to be armed because, goddamn it, he was attacked. It's a fucking endless infinity loop of you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you were wrong, no, you were wrong, no, you shouldn't have been there, no, you shouldn't have been there. Nobody should have been there. Nobody should have fucking been there. The whole thing should have been avoided. That's the goddamn issue. But we live in such a time of unrest that people are going to do what people are going to do. And people have these violent tendencies when they have these urges to speak out. And unfortunately, it's getting to the point where violence isn't just standard. And we have to light shit on fire. We have to arm ourselves. We have to attack people with skateboards. We have to graffiti all over the thing in a large group of people and break businesses and ruin people's lives to make our voices heard, even though really it's just people letting out the violence that they want to let out and get off scot-free for it.
So Phil's all excited to see for the King of Extreme. That's a 1 minute mute.
All
right, so a minute of oh God, there he is drinking his almond milk and preaching about how great almond milk is and how Kyle should have been guilty. Oh yeah, how much he hates AR-15s and how much he loves Joe Biden. Look at Phil just ranting.
Amanda, grow the farm up, Amanda, but he had full metal jacket.
Oh no!
Oh, the prosecution is so fucking bad. Oh god.
Oh god, it was fantastic to watch them talk about ammo. Lupo, what?
Yank is hammered. K.O.E,
wow, really? You think something Amanda says is like crazy or weird or dumb? Yeah, dumb.
Lynn's got a point. There was no Z at the end of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. Hey, Brendan, I could pass the sobriety test. I think I've only had two. That don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Let's do a sobriety test. Ursama jumping in. Here we go. Not having any real gun emojis has made me frightened of guns. Damn deep state psychological manipulation. Yeah, that's
and Phil's back.
You no good, rotten bastards. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm sorry, folks. Your life without Phil K.O.E. for that 1 minute was tumult and chaos. You didn't know what direction that you needed to go. And don't worry, I am back.
Hello, Roger.
Hello, Roger. And
Okay,
hey,
where were we? Where were we?
hey.
I got caught up. We're caught up on the comments. I think we're good. I think
No,
I got them all.
where were we on topics? Are we still
we were
shitting
talking
on-
about how bad it was to dox the jury when you're fucking media, you pieces of shit. What the fuck? Like you said, what was the goddamn goal here? What were you supposed to do? You were going to get I'm here investigative reporting with MSNBC, and I'm going to get an interview with one of the jurors. Hey, what are your thoughts on the trial so far? Let's just fucking hit all the points of no fucking don't do that, you stupid motherfuckers. And MSNBC is going to roll him over. They're going to drive the goddamn bus over him. He has no idea how big of a patsy he was. And they would have played anything that he would have recorded and went, sorry, we didn't mean to do that. We'll retract it right away. But the damage is already done, and it doesn't matter. It's fucking horseshit. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Tony, the rules against this are just a form of systemic racism.
That's true. The amount of people that still think Kyle Rittenhouse shot black people is insane to me. I'm baffled.
It's reduced. It's reduced by about half. Like half of them were like, "Oh shit, I didn't know that."
Ursama, you're so correct.
Yeah.
Now, I'll never forget the first time I saw the footage. There was a point where someone in the background was firing just a bunch of shots, and the way that it was edited on the news led you to believe that Kyle Rittenhouse just kind of pointed at a group and just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And
active shooter.
Don't you dare call Kyle Rittenhouse Mr. Binger.
Jesus Christ. But no,
because between Kyle Rittenhouse and Mr. Binger, only one of them pointed a gun at a crowd of people.
True.
Now, what was interesting, now this is one of the few points where the defense actually did something really interesting. Okay, when Binger brought out the AR-15, it was like, oh, the AR-15 that Kyle used that night.
It's like this holy grail for these weirdos now.
Well, it was just one of those moments that gives you pause. You're like, whoa, okay, because it was so, again, it was very persuasive, because then there's a reason he pointed it at the jury, because now the jury is thinking of themselves.
And
hang on, because yes, he had his finger on the trigger, but now the idea was to make every one of the jury think of themselves as the people that Kyle was shooting at that night rather than as Kyle. That was what he was going for. And also there was a second thing that the defense didn't fall into a trap for. The defense could have gone, objection, Your Honor, why is actually I'm a lot more than that. Your Honor, what the prosecutor shouldn't be pointing a gun at people. Then the prosecutor could have gone, Your Honor, I'm simply doing what the defendant was doing that night. And so that was a trap that the defense didn't fall into. But what the defense did, which was good later, was he said, here, let me have the gun. Let me show you what actually. And when he picked it up, it kind of demystified the object. It was now just another object. And so that was just a great back and forth. Those are two attorneys that were doing their damnedest, really.
Yeah, it was a bold move, and I'm sure it worked tenfold. I mean, we had an extra 2 days of deliberation because of some shit that he did like that. I mean, it worked. It absolutely worked. And I understand he had the gun checked over to make sure it was safe, but you're still pointing a fucking deadly weapon with your finger on the trigger in a crowd of people. You're doing exactly, and like you said, yes, he's recreating what happened, but he's doing exactly what Kyle Rittenhouse was on trial for, and that's being somewhere in the wrong spot and could potentially kill somebody if this is an Alec Baldwin situation. So no, Don't fucking do that. Yes.
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 Now, I do think, yeah, in the wake of Alec Baldwin, I think the judge being, no, go ahead, check that. You just checked it, but go ahead and check it again. What the heck? Why not? No, Tony, that's no.
But Justin asked. Oh, sorry.
No,
I'll do it later, Justin.
no.
Here.
Wait,
That if in
save
case
that
you
for
missed
the OnlyFans.
in case you missed it, I did get the whole. I think I have the audio built into. You'll have to let me know. Hold on, I might have to switch this. Let me know if the audio works. Audience, give a 1 if you can hear the audio when I replay the alert. I don't know if Tony or Phil could hear it. I could hear it.
We can't hear it, but
No.
well, you're the fucking best. Yeah.
What was the sound?
It's a Corn Pop was a bad dude.
All right.
Nah, they didn't hear it. All right, I'll work on that. I got the visual part up. That's the important.
It should have been.
I noticed I have
bigger.
I have a little lag now that I'm on a virtual cam, so I'm now I have to fucking sync up my goddamn.
It should have been Binger going, I thought you left the door open for me.
Fucking Justin, dude, don't blow your wad.
Oh my God, Justin is coming in hard tonight. I think Justin wants a cardboard cutout of Tony G for himself. I think that's what's going on.
I think
here.
that's kind of what he's after. But yes, we're also trying
that's
to.
fair.
We're doing a drive to get a cardboard cutout of Tony G into a random gas station somewhere. And like, what?
I kind of want to put it in the new one that's going up outside of town here, but I think too many people will notice.
Yeah, too many people know who you are. Yeah.
So we'll have to go to like Lincoln.
Like, yeah. You go to like oh God, go to my old gas station I used to work at in college. The kid working there won't give a fuck.
No, I am not putting a cardboard cutout of myself in that area of town. It will be sodomized within the day.
Yeah, it was a really seedy neighborhood that they put me in at. But I was always nice to people, and so nothing bad ever happened to me. Now, what was weird is when I was in this neighborhood, because I was nice, everybody used me as their gas station therapist. Basically, I ended up kind of like Ron White. He forced his life story into my ear. I didn't want to hear it, but I had to hear it. Yes, Tony G has liked the stream. Oh my goodness.
Then you get the Binger shot.
Binger was pointing at me with his finger on the trigger. I was scared for my life.
Yeah, that Binger fucking thing has just gone mimetic. Like,
God.
You never know what's gonna go mimetic. But Binger holding the AR-15 has gone mimetic at this point. Like, you can fairly say that. Big Bucking according to Grow the Farm Up,
just hit a jackpot.
We can pay to mute K.O.E. Sweet. Play your show on MSNBC and millions of dollars are pouring into your account. Yeah. I mean, granted,
drink, by the way.
Yes.
Here's the problem, though, is if I want to be, I can be so loud that actually Tony's microphone, the next town over, will actually kind of still pick me up a little bit.
That's true. That is true. So can you imagine what next gig fucking Binger is gonna have? Like, just
I fucking
the
know.
next court case that he's gonna have to be a part of.
Here's the thing. If any of the shit that I was talking about with like the decompression of the files and anything, if any of that's true, if they could ever get him on the stand and under oath to testify against that, which won't happen now because we're not going to retry Kyle. If they were able to do that, I think Binger was safe. Binger acted stupid. Like, he didn't know anything about the file. He didn't know anything. Like, he came off the more innocent party, and Lunchbox looked like the asshole.
So you think Krause is going to be the fall guy?
I think Krause is trying to save the case.
Well, yes.
Oh my God, yes, he was. Binger was auditioning for a CNN job.
I actually disagree, Travis.
I would agree.
Here's what I think. How often do prosecutors get appointed as federal judges?
Most federal judges used to be a prosecutor or a defense attorney at one time, or both.
So that's I think he was maybe. I think he's auditioning for a bit higher up position than just a CN. Now, he would be. I'm going to get a little deeper into that, but yes, Ninja Medic, you are one of the listeners of the evening, and because you have done such amazing, I'm actually going to use this old seed sampling device. It's actually got this lovely little, but yeah, I use this to actually get seed. But I'm going to use this to knight you as an official Thane of the KOE Nation for an entire week now. And yes, here's the keys. Just be sure to bring it back with a full tank of gas. Thank you, Ninja Medic. You are now the knighted Thane of the KOE Nation. And yes, Peapod Humperdinck, also you are knighted as another Thane of the KOE Nation. Both of you are, for a full week, a full honored Thane of the KOE Nation. Now I'm looking into a potential currency of the KOE Nation. Wait until that happens. It's going to be an amazing thing. When I hit this idea, Tony and Shaken were both thinking like, oh God, please tell me this is just some idea he had and he's going to forget the next day. And then the next day when I talked to him, like, fuck, he still remembers it, damn it. So, yep, they know once it's a idea that I remember more in a few days, it's probably just going to happen. So, oh, Ninja Medic. I'm going to do this unique thing as I feel precedent do so. I accept your honor and relinquish it as I see you. Oh, well, we shall see. Done to the queen when she tries to knight people sometimes. Oh, understandable, but there is no greater honor or value than being uh usually done by anti-mar, and I'm being a Canadian, and okay, I get it. Ninja Medic's Canadian, so any attempt at royalty to knight you is something that you often okay. I just learned something about something within Canadian culture today. I had no idea about that. If you try to knight a Canadian or make them a Thane or something, they might actually resist it. You know, I did check out the photos, Kyle. Photos where I don't know what you mean, but I respect my oath, but I promote we abolish it. I understand, but as the king of extreme, the KOE Nation has a complete open border policy, and so I really can't, like you will always be welcome within the KOE Nation, Ninja Medic. But that's fascinating. I learned something tonight, and okay, Canadians might be a little more resistant to I shall knight you. Oh. Twitch chat. Okay, let me pull that up then. Let's see here. Notifications. I can't find you. You're in Twitch chat. I put a link. Oh, okay. I think I got you. Yeah, you want to put that link again in Twitch chat. But yeah, the Rittenhouse memes have been pretty heavy. If you're talking about memes, yeah, you go naft. Oh Lord, oh, Canadians are free to live and work in the USA as you are in Canada. Half New York, raised Michigan, love USA. Yeah, let's see, checking it out and. Alrighty. Oh, so that's why that was that way. Okay, now that makes sense because you're gonna have to excuse me, girly bear. When it comes to all this technological stuff, there are times where it's like I don't know whether to whine my ass or scratch my watch with some of this. So that's what I'm seeing when you try to post that link, unfortunately. But thank you. But yeah, the memes, you knew there was going to be memes on this one way or the other. NAFTA being a metaphor as opposed to law directly. Yeah, I understand. I support free movement with allies. Yeah, I would love to go to Canada sometime. I've just never had the time to make it up there. And my younger brother and I keep telling him we need to go up to Canada sometime because this shit happened. I shit you not. My brother was 5 years old and I was with him, and my older brother was with me and my dad. We're in Harlan County Lake. It's a nice lake in Nebraska. My brother at 6 years old fucking hooks a goddamn northern pike. And we all see it on the fucking surface. My older brother nets the northern pike by the tail first, and so it had a way to leap out, and so it leapt out and it got away. And boy, my boy, my little 6-year-old brother, I never saw him cry quite so much. I was about 8 at the time, and yeah, but so I always tell him we need to go up to Canada and catch us some fucking northern pike to make up for that one that got away way back in the day. But yeah, that was oh yeah, definitely. But oh yeah, but that's one of those. It's a family story we still talk about to this day. The great northern pike that got away, and then we watch these videos on YouTube of folks in Canada catching fucking northern pike like longer than my arm span can get on camera here, and we're like, yeah, we need to do that sometime, my man. And so that's definitely a bucket list thing. Do some northern pike fishing up in some beautiful lake up in Canada. Because weirdly enough, in Nebraska, this is the Nebraska state flag behind me. Equality before the law. That's our state motto on the flag. We've got very odd weather. We get our weather from 3 directions. I wonder how they taste. So do I. But we'll have to wait a little longer. But we get our winter weather all blows in from Canada, and our warm weather all comes in from the Gulf of Mexico, and a lot of our moisture comes down from the Rocky Mountains. So if it's going to be a rainstorm, it's coming usually from the west. And if it's cold weather, and I've actually seen it, I've been standing outside when it happens, where the breeze is gentle and it's coming from the south and it's still a little warm, and then the wind changes and it comes from the north, and now you literally feel it drop 3 to 5 degrees in a matter of 5 minutes. And it's just subtle at first, but yeah, then it's, oh fuck, here we go. It's the cold weather coming in, and it's some folks love it, some folks don't. Ninja Medic, we got amazing fishing in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, and you may not know, but a tiny French island country is there, St. Pierre and Meliquin, amazing fisheries around. Oh, I'll have to for y'all about Maine, I think. I'm from Nebraska, born, raised, bred. I'm a 5th generation Nebraska farmer. But yeah, I really want to get out and do some fishing like that someday. That'd just be beautiful. Got to keep my singing voice in fetch. But yeah, that's a bucket list thing to make it to Canada sometime to do some serious fishing. I've thought about doing some hunting because moose meat, I hear, is just absolutely just so something I'd like to try sometime. But I bet if I go up to Canada, it's like, no, just go down to whoever's place and you get yourself a moose meat burger. It's like, sweet, all right. And that was pretty much long and short of it. Nebraska has more blizzards than Ontario. Yeah, actually, last year we were the coldest place on earth for a week. About 15 miles from my house, it was like negative 40 fucking 3 degrees. We were colder than Siberia, Antarctica, fucking North Pole. That shit was crazy. Yeah, your Great Lake. Oh yeah, they don't have lake affecting Yeah, we for us. So the weatherman says, that makes sense. You got this giant body of water that's going to want to pull moisture to it. So to me, but yeah, here in Nebraska, when we get hit with a blizzard, it's fascinating because I've got a few buildings on my property that stand taller than 2 stories. And so when you get up on it, you just see just like waves on an ocean, but they're frozen in time for as far as your eye can see. And it's really a fascinating thing to see, but you realize fuck, You really got to make sure your heating's working. You got enough wood to get yourself through the winter, and you got enough food in case power goes down for a week or two. Because that actually happened in the town I live in. We lost power for 5 days during a really hard blizzard. So, venison is awesome, though. I believe it, man. Only Yukon for us is colder than USA, maybe. But yeah, I don't know what the hell, but like, yeah, Nebraska is now one of the coldest places in the world during the winter. And I knew this friend of mine, she's Russian. I said, yeah, man, you go from the coldest place in the world, then you come here, and now it's the freaking coldest place in the world. And yeah, that's just like, oh, good Lord. That's rough. When Niagara Falls freezes over, it's so beautiful. Oh, I would love to see that. I'm gonna have to Google that now. But yeah, so Canada is just beautiful country, and and another thing, as an American, that'd be like, you're gonna laugh at this, Ninja Medic, and feel free to laugh. But like, as an American, we were like, can I buy like a Cuban cigar? And you're just gonna be like, yes. Yes, you can buy a Cuban cigar. You always can. We've always had what? Okay. So that, like, yeah, Americans, and when they come there, Google is, yeah, mate. So and yes, you can also fly to Cuba, but oh, you can't buy a Cuban cigar in Canada. I was always under the impression that you could. Interesting. Uh yeah, you can own it in America too now, but it's really complicated to actually get it in here and legally bring it back. So yeah, it's still kind of tricky, but okay. I was under the impression, okay, I learned another thing about Canada, because I was under the impression that you could just buy a Cuban cigar in Canada as commonly as you could like a Nicaraguan or like a Colombian cigar or something like that. So okay. Uh I trained in the Caribbean under Cuban. Interesting. All right. This is the I Learned Something Today podcast, amongst many other things. Uh-oh. Starting to run out of peach juice, folks. I'm going to be chewing on ice cubes. Very all unpolite like. But yeah, Canada allows it to exist and doesn't follow American sanctions. Yeah, okay, interesting, because I got a friend of mine that might be living near the Canadian border. And I was like, well, shit, now I can get Cuban cigars, no problem. And I was trying to, like, help them, like, they weren't really enthused about the idea. So I was trying to help them see the silver lining. And then it's like, they get there, it's like, Phil, you lying fucking sack. Oh, crap. All right. Since Trudeau 1.0 refused to follow American stance, Canada's friends and wants embargo to end. Interesting. At this point, like, I think once the Castros fully out of power, or is one of the brothers still hanging on? I think they're still just if that's the case, I think they're just waiting for the Castro brothers to move on from power, and then they're just gonna try their luck with the new regime or whoever's in power there, and we'll see what happens. Now, if we do get an end to the embargo, you're really not going to see a lot of like pure Cuban tobacco cigars, because there's the American tobacco companies have already kind of got a law put in place where anything that's going to be a Cuban cigar has to have a certain percentage, like it'll have to be 10% of American tobacco in the cigar. And this is totally protectionist. I remember hearing this on Rush Limbaugh's show like decade ago, so things might have changed, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the way it works. Oh, there we go. But I must say, Cuban doctors are enslaved. Docs I trained under were held against. Oh my God, Castro's gone. He's shadow control now. Miguel Diaz is a Castro puppet. I'm from Trinidad, neighboring Venezuela. Okay, so wow. All right, I got somebody that's like on the ground, ninja medic, and an actual ninja medic. So, like an actual doctor without borders, just fucking going wherever you can and having the fucking ninja in there to doctor folks. That's dude. Wow. Like, holy shit. It's one of those like I got to give you credit there, man. Like, wow, ninja medic. My ancestral country is a 50-50 friend by regional reasons. You know, hey, that's understandable. Every country's got to make friends with who they got to fucking get through another day. I'm not going to begrudge anything like that. Caribbean countries are forced to be friends with Cuba and Venezuela. Yeah, you kind of have to. I mean, they're a power, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. I mean, they still hold political power in that region. Now, it's damn a ninja medic. That's fucking awesome. I like your name all the more now that I know that that's actually a thing. Like, wow, okay. It's like when I was 19, I would read books by like Masaka Hatsumi, who is the 34th grandmaster of Togokureru Ninjutsu. And one of the things he taught is not to pass in front of light sources because that'll cause a contrast. And in film, the thing you learn is the thing your eye is drawn to is the greatest contrast between darkness and light. So something to keep that in mind. Don't ever pass in front of light sources, Mr. Actual Ninja Medic. I thought this is about we're getting there. We're getting back to it. But now, Kelly, thank you for being here. But I also got to, address my adoring public and all the beautiful people. My parents would have remembered the invasion of Grenada. Interesting, fascinating. When the Yankees, we called them stationed in Trinidad. Trinidad has oil though. Oh wow, fucking A, right, man. Dude, that's cool. Thank you for sharing all that information. But yes, don't worry. Kelly Adams, we're getting right back to it. I just wanted to share some stuff. And so we got a little bit more of this panel. There's a couple more gems that I want to extract here before I give the
CNN,
final thought.
MSNBC would definitely take him as a contributor. But now, I'm curious what Travis's thoughts are on that. Because Binger.
No, I didn't ban her again. Whatever account she was using, it still got access. Well, her other ones don't have access, but that one does.
But yeah, I think he might be. I think he might be moving on up in a bit of a different fashion. But hey,
if Bernie Sanders people get elected, they'll pick Bingers as their judges, basically.
God, if Biden were to get reelected for a second term, I could see him getting nominated within the next 6 to 8 years.
Travis says, look at the lawyers from OJ trial, all became celebrities.
Yeah. That's why I say
audition. What an audition for Mr. Binger to showcase to the whole world that you essentially have no morals. So that's nice.
Well, like I was saying earlier about how OJ gave us the Kardashians. We don't know what's going to arise.
I will never forgive OJ for that. I mean, and the whole thing, allegedly.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, like you never know what big trials, what the fallout, what the reverberations are going to be from it. And this is one where it just had a little bit of everything. Like it really, the only thing it didn't have was a 7 degrees of separation away from OJ or Michael Jackson. That was really it. If it would have had either of those two, it would have literally had everything. Tell me I'm wrong. It had Trump and Biden commenting on it. It had it had everything. Okay. It had constitutional jurisprudence and precedents in it. Like this is quite a ride, and it's kind of hard to believe that it's kind of over. Now, like I said, there's the civil side of it, and we'll see what now, because I'm going to quote Baron Harkonnen from the new movie Dune. Squeeze, Raban. Squeeze hard. Yeah, Kyle, the people who slandered you, you're going to have to squeeze hard because this is your income for the rest of your life. There is no university that's going to take you. There's no like I said, there's the idea that people are saying, oh, is he going to run for Congress? I don't know about all that. Can you imagine AOC's reaction when Kyle Rittenhouse walks into the House of Representatives? Like, there's going to be people that refuse to be in the same fucking room as him. So I don't think that's going to be where things lie. But now, maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, but we will see.
Which T-shirt you want? Which one? Which one?
Now, who knows? I've seen some crazier shit because, like I did say earlier, I'm going to contradict myself. What I just said, what I said earlier is Rittenhouse is one of the most recognizable names in the country at this moment. So I don't know what he does with it. Like, I don't know what you do with that, but it is one of the most recognizable names in the fucking country at the moment. Walk around Walmart with a fake fart maker and record. Jesus, that's
that's really easy for me to do.
That's half a TikTok.
And
I'd
I'm
say, Travis,
like,
this is YouTube, not TikTok.
no, Travis, this is actually a really good point because I'm like an authority figure at Walmart. So if I were to do something like that, people would like look at me, like get mad, but then be like, "Am I allowed to even say anything to him?" It's a whole different like mentality that people would have if I fart on them or fake fart on them.
Amanda says she's going to wear a picture in the T-shirt in Times Square, so we should probably send her one that says like "Let's go, Brandon," and see how long she lasts.
Should get fucking clotheslined on Times Square. It'd be great.
Times Square, ooh, that would go over badly. Yeah.
Climb up some milk crates.
Oh, yes.
Don't do that.
Never do that. Never do that. Tantui 10 man with a fucking white hot take. Yeah, we need more Walmart cashiers.
I have nothing to do with that. I don't.
Oh,
yeah. Travis forgot this is not TikTok. Justin says, I was in Walmart today and a customer was self-checking and needed help and yelled out, "Hey, Walmart." It's not like, is it like, "Hey, Google"?
Hey, Siri.
Yeah, hey, Siri.
I just picture them all. Help!
Yeah.
Oh, grow the farm up. You shut your whore mouth.
Stuck in clearance. Somebody help!
Done.
Wait a minute, I thought you said you had nothing to do. You son
bastard! Why?
Grow the farm up. You betrayed us.
Oh, you blew it all up! You damn dirty apes!
You bastard! Damn it!
Smash that like button. Fucking share. God damn it.
Fucking right there.
Oh God damn it.
Lord Almighty. So that just happened. So yeah, like
You
that's
damn dirty.
You blew it up, you maniacs!
Didn't know I was gonna get a fucking Planet of the Apes reference in tonight,
Wow.
did you?
We fucking in that shit all over those goddamn.
Still as old as Joe Biden.
Oh God damn it!
Like and Chicken just like fuck you and your fucking cashier want. Like it's just one of those things. Like it would
Just fuck you in any of your wants.
I'm not here to cater to your desires, you son of a bitch.
Give me an ooh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does he want an oh yeah, or does he want a oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Now you all see mine and Chicken's evil plan. Hey, damn it!
You
No,
bastard.
who's this? Dr.
Kyle the-
Logic.
God bless
Kyle
Ninja
the
Medic.
kid, don't show up to a gunfight with no bicep.
Hang on before you take off. God bless Ninja Medic. I wish you well, and I hope to find you back here happy, healthy, much the wiser next time around. And I am much more the prophet for having met and conversed with you, and I hope to do so again in the future and often. God bless. Travel well, friend.
I know, to be fair, he showed up with a bicep. Two of them, actually. And, well, I mean, that was subtracted by one.
Like
Hey, Poppy.
that was the moment that it all turned in the case when it says, well, he didn't shoot me until after I pointed my gun at him, correct? And then you got one prosecutor just like this, in which, like, I kind of thought
that had to be it.
They would have had to talk about body language. It's like, Tony, you and I have played poker before where we've kept better poker faces.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Don't show up with a
You've
bicep that
flush.
comes off so
And we're
easily.
playing over like $3, and it's
yeah,
like,
there's a
hey,
flush on the board, and you're obviously you don't have it. You've got clubs, and you're just hand in your head. Oh God, it was terrible.
Bicep
Still
boy
at-
still at large. So I went back. If you look up on YouTube, you can find his DUI arrest video. They posted the whole damn thing. And like, it's nothing too crazy, but he is kind of one of those guys when the cops like getting ready to read his rights, and they're sitting there getting ready to take his blood alcohol, and he's like, "What's your name and badge number?" He's one of those fucking guys. I was like,
yeah.
as soon as he said that, I was like, god damn it. I was like, I was
Police
hoping.
yeah, that always works. That like they love
works every
that.
time. Works every time.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Phil. All
Oh,
right, we got to go full screen for this.
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
My God, man! The Rittenhouse trial! We finally got it all back on track! And so now, we now know what the verdict is! Kyle is not going to be living in a van down by the river or at Wisconsin State Penitentiary! We gotta get his life back on track, Jack! There we go.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Impromptu, not too bad.
Yes, thank
You
you.
didn't get to practice that. You didn't get to practice.
No,
That's
no,
good.
I rarely practice anything. So what you see is what you get with Phil K.O.E. Every time I've sang a song and made up the lyrics, it was right there in the fly.
I want to call Phil the jump kick man.
No, we actually found out who he was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the other thing in this whole thing. Apparently, Jump Kick Man turned himself in to ask for reduced charges so he could testify against Kyle. And the state said no, but I need to go back and rewatch parts of the trial. But some people are saying that the state told the defense they had no idea who this guy was, even though he came to them and was willing to testify and have charges removed. So the state knew who he was this whole time. We acted. I like when they read charge 3 of the unidentified man. I'm like, no, he's identified. Like, we know who he is now. Fuck me. There goes the eardrums. Yeah. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a risk when you come to the Big Bucket Empire K.O.E. Nation.
Yep.
You know, your eardrums, it's kind of like I'm leading you into battle. They're not all going to be there when we're done.
Yep. Grow the farm up's right. Jump Kick Man was yet another piece of evidence the prosecution withheld from the defense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do they fuck? It just drives me nuts that they were allowed to basically get away with anything they wanted to in this because the fucking risk and the reward were so high. He's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. We're gonna try everything we can to get this conviction, whether or not the judge likes it. I don't give a shit. We're gonna withhold evidence. I'm gonna point guns at the fucking jury. I'm gonna misinterpret what the judge is trying to portray to us. This is one of those things that how the fuck did they manage to get away with so much and not have a mistrial happen?
Now,
Ugh.
Now, you know what Kyle thinks about all of that right now? Don't give a fuck. Freedom.
No fucks given.
Freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Freedom. Like, yeah, that's all he's thinking at the moment. Like, Chicken's like, Phil, I could hear you with my headphones off. What the fuck?
Uh-oh, it's time
lovely.
for the McAllen Gold. Grow the Farm Up says, who actually decided to even bring charges against Rittenhouse? Was it a political thing or just an overzealous DA? Anybody heard anything?
So I was waiting for Tony this whole time to be like, well, justice was served. No, justice would have been served when that kid never got charged. That would have been justice.
Yeah, that's more fair. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was unfortunate we had to come this far to get here, but the verdict has been rendered. He has been found not guilty by a jury of his peers.
Oh, that was a beautiful pop.
Nice.
McAllen's got a nice tight cork.
That's
I was
what
gonna
she
make a
said.
joke there, but no, that is true.
Tony's like, I wasn't gonna do it. I mean,
I
we
didn't
all
wanna
thought
do
it.
it.
We all
Let's
thought
go
it.
full.
Oh, do we have to? Oh, super citrusy. Holy shit. It's like grapefruit.
Yes, we do actually.
Holy shit. That's a very citrusy smell. Holy fuck. All right. That's all I get on the nose. It's like grapefruit. Fucking like just fresh cut grapefruit.
Hmm.
Little oak, not much.
Okay.
All right.
All
let's
right.
give her
There's
a
some
taste.
oak there.
Mm. Vanilla. It's supposedly been in sherry cask. I am not getting much sherry. In okay, there it is. It's on the back end. It's there.
Nice.
Oh yeah, big time. Cherries on the back. Big time. Holy shit.
Yes.
Oh, I like this. This fucking
There we
hits you.
go. That's what I like when it
That
explodes at the end. Yes.
This is why scotches are so fucking great, because like the flavor
Here, here.
profiles just fucking flip you out. Like it smells like citrus. It tastes like it comes off very unoffensive right away. You're just like, wow, is there anything there? And then, oh my God, like deep chocolate cherries is all I have in the back of my mouth right now.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Fucking love
I
this.
can't wait to try that. Oh, I'm excited now.
Oh, dudes, the DA just threw the whole porta potty truck of shit against the wall. It was egregious prosecutorial. Oh, that was tough. Misconduct. So did you see today that the U.S. DOJ is now looking into it as a civil case and may possibly this now it's not confirmed, but they're talking. What's the fat short dude that looks like Penguin? Jerry Nadler. Jerry Nadler was saying that they could look at this for DOJ could be pushing civil charges on Kyle Rittenhouse and retry him. I hope it doesn't happen.
Jeez.
But when the eye what's fucking Michael Malice say, when the eye of Sauron's on you?
Yeah.
Nothing you
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah.
Now that's that's why we have the double jeopardy laws that we do in the United
Yes.
States, because in Europe, if they don't get the conviction that they want, they will just keep trying you until they eventually get the conviction that they want. And that's
Yeah.
why we had that implemented here in the United States. So
Thank God. And people wonder why we actually like to be proud to be an American and, you know, enjoy the liberties and the freedoms that we have, the protections that we have. Gosh, why would we want such things? And everybody, oh, let's just fucking just run away to a faraway land like Europe. That'll be beautiful. Well, you spit on the sidewalk and, well, we're going to convict you 9 times over until we get the result that we want. Freedom! You fucking idiot.
yeah. So
Oh my fucking God. If you guys find this shit, this is fucking amazing.
Was there another bottle?
I think they had one more. I can check tomorrow.
Oh my God, if they have another one yet.
oh boy.
just grab
Actually,
it for me.
It's fucking beautiful.
Hang
This
on.
shit is so good. Oh,
Oh,
yes.
holy shit. Comments are flying in. What? We missed a couple there.
that's fine. That's
Dalton.
fine.
Dalton
yeah.
said, so sick, waiting here in Lincoln, AKAR in the 1911, snuggling with me and my 18 tomato plants. I fucking love
Tomato
America.
plants.
America. America.
I was looking up riots, and I haven't seen anything. So we've been live
It's
for
too cold.
it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I haven't seen or got any alerts of anything actually crazy going on. So
Watching trains go by says, I want to give the National Guard one chance only to prove if they're out there to protest America from domestic terrorists or to protect useful idiots / rioters from patriots.
So, okay, hold on. Let's go back through that. I want to give the National Guard one chance only to prove if they're out there to protect America from domestic terrorists or to protect useful idiots / rioters from patriots. Do you think the
Whose
patriots are the one?
Yeah. Whose protection are they there for, really? That's
I don't.
yeah.
I don't think National Guard should have to get to that point.
Yeah, but
It
we're here.
Shouldn't.
So it's
been here
unfortunate.
for a
It
while.
shouldn't, but here we are. There's 500 National Guard deployed in Kenosha as we speak.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's like
So
13 people protesting in Kenosha. So
Yes,
they're
yeah,
having a
so-
good night.
Well, deterrence is a real factor. The fact that
Yeah.
you read there's 500 National Guard, probably that's what quelled quite a bit of any unrest if there was going to be any. Now, I think the other thing is
And the
it was
30-degree
cold.
temperatures. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cold, and it went on for the extra 2 days. It went really took a lot of steam out of any potential protest there was going to be.
Yeah. So if that was the goal, mission accomplished. Because wow.
Travis says civil cases are usually filed by the families of victims. I'm not sure if these guys qualify as victims.
Oh, there's some attorney
they'll
there
find
that'll
a
take
way.
their case.
They'll find a way.
Yeah.
There's some attorney there that'll say, I think you got a case.
Justin Chris says the only other person to take on Kyle is if he slams a monster.
You cannot try a Kyle for slamming a monster. That's what Kyles do. That is, I think that's like
And
one
punching
of the
holes in
amendments.
walls. And
Yeah,
punching holes in
exactly.
walls.
Drywall doesn't stand a chance. It's fine. Kyle's allowed to slam monster. We protected that today. We've got some Twitch. Holy good God. Twitch coming in. Dark Sage 9117. I do want to say, not all Democrats you encounter are far left radicals. Thank
True.
God.
That's true.
True. A friend of mine was recently elected to a local office, and he is an unabashed American first populist Democrat. He is doing his best to take down the town Democrat Party and lead it down the path towards America first. But hey, fucking bravo. Absolutely.
God bless.
Absolutely. I don't care
Cheers.
what party anybody wants to affiliate with. You do you. I don't care how you identify politically.
If you change what's going on in your locality, fucking
Yes.
right on.
Absolutely. If you can end some corruption and you can get people to agree to actual freedoms and think about your community first, what better cause is there? Making everybody better makes everybody better, not the me first thing. Yeah, 100%. Don't care what you're registered as. Absolutely. America first, indeed. And we've got another one from Dalton coming in. I'd go check my state capital down the street, but I'm assuming they don't want this smoke.
Mm-hmm.
You never know till you try, Dalton. You never know.
Yeah, generally not. Now,
But maybe stay in.
yeah, it's fascinating. Nebraska's Capitol building is actually like a triumph of architecture, but
It's beautiful.
And
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
remember at one point here, Dalton Carter starts getting a little uncomfortable with the comments. So I'm going to stop there for a moment here, folks. But this is the final thoughts on Kyle Rittenhouse, and this is what you came here for. The K.O.E. Nation, Phil K.O.E. The final thoughts. The system worked. I don't know what else you can possibly come to the conclusion of. The system worked. We were able to really adjudicate this to the umpteenth degree, deeper than almost anything. And in the end, I think we arrived at the right decision. I think we arrived at the right conclusion. And I hope, and it's kind of one of those things that I hope that this is the end of this saga. I hope this is the end of this story, that we don't have to go deeper into this, that more people have to be drugged through more stress and more suffering. And there's already been enough of all of that to go around. So the final thoughts are, the reason this got so big is because this also enveloped the idea of, is self-defense itself valid? And this was a pretty basic, it seemed open and shut. And now in retrospect, it seems so easy, doesn't it? But everybody, regardless of what side you were on, you were thinking it was going to go the other way for a little while. I thought for a while Kyle was going to be convicted of something. And in the end, like I said, from the jurors, you have to thank them for doing their civil duty. You have to thank everybody along the process that this got adjudicated properly. And here we are. And if you say that there was no emotion with you when you saw the reading of that, I don't know what to say. Like it was just, there was a weight off of it. I just wanted to come hang out and show my support for you, Phil. Don't care so much about okay. Well, that's why this is the final word, final thoughts, because there's so much more to talk about in this world, is there not? So I think this was a moment to keep in mind of, yes, Kyle was in the end right, but it's like a song by the company band. What can I win? Satisfaction of being right. I mean, that's really about it. Like
all this time, all this effort, all this energy. And that's one of those things like it's like the mom from that 70s show. Oh, you kids, you only get in trouble because you all go out and have fun. Why don't you just stay home at night? And she's like, I just drink at home. That's what I do. And so that's how I avoid getting into trouble. And I thought that's kind of funny. It's like, yep. You know, if he had been like a D&D nerd, might have like, so here's the thing. He was ultimately proven correct in the courts, because that's a hell of a fucking situation for anybody to be put in. That was unfortunate. And like I said last night, it's a modern day Othello. It's a tragedy, no matter which way you want to look at it. But folks, I believe it is that time. And as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this has been the final thoughts on the Rittenhouse trial. Folks, the last word has been rendered by me, the King of Extreme. Folks, I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E. You can find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, K.O.E Nation on Twitch, K.O.E Nation on TikTok. Be sure to follow all three. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. K.O.E Nation on YouTube. We need you for a subscriber drive. We are on the drive to 500 subscribers. Come on, folks. You know it's the right thing to do. Come on over to K.O.E Nation. Give a like, share, subscribe. God bless every last one of you. Be sure to check out Big Bucket Empire on YouTube. Be sure to check out Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast tomorrow, folks. You know it's the right thing to do. You know it's the right place to be. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow for our preview, prediction, and then review and review of Survivor Series. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peapod Humperdinck. God bless. Night, all of you beautiful people. Thank you. God bless every last one of you. I hope to find all of you back here, happy, healthy, much the wiser. But be sure to check us out at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast tomorrow for Survivor Series coverage. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the Lord of the Scottish Highlands, the Conqueror of the Ethereal, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. Signing off, handing it off